The ironing board is very important because you have to have something that has padding underneath it. So if you're just buying an ironing board cover, make sure you buy a pad to go underneath it. This iron is a Teflon iron, very, very good. You must use with it distilled water, and it steams when you push the button at the top, so you get a fair amount of steam coming out of that, as you can see, which makes it very, very easy to iron because you only have to go over things once. The iron is expensive, but well worth it.
Is it the same technique with the regular iron?
Same technique with a regular iron, only you would have to do all sides, and you would have to make sure that you had the temperature right on it, okay? This iron just makes it easier. So first of all, you have to make sure all the buttons are undone. Then you're going to put right side out here, and you're going to get underneath the arms because you want to do the yoke. So you're going to underneath the arms. This makes the back part flat when you go like this, so that you've got everything flat. That's important because if you iron and you're ironing a crease in, then it makes it 10 times harder to get out. So you want it flat, and you want to do this yoke first. So you're going to put the steam on, hear it, go across, and go up over the shoulder a bit. Then you're going to take your shirt and you want to get this corner. Years ago you would use a sleeve ironing board, but you don't need that now. You just want to get where the buttons are. Then make it straight across here, and always make sure it's flat. Then you go in between each button. Then move it along to the next step. And you're going to go all around the shirt like this. The beauty of this iron is that you only have to go over it once. Now, if you have a regular iron and you have a cotton shirt, cotton shirts are very, very difficult to iron. I found the best thing to do is to dampen it and then roll it all up, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in the freezer. That way, when you take it out, everything is damp, and it's much, much easier to iron. You leave it frozen, the material, and then you can iron it. So, for instance, if you had a cotton white shirt and you've only got a regular ironing to do it with, then that's what you would use. You would put it in the freezer and do it. Years ago, they used to have to starch everything and then iron it. And my grandmother made a lot of money doing that. She made enough money to bring her whole family from England. When she got here, she was able to buy a house. After taking in ironing, she used to do men's white shirts, 25 cents a shirt. And she did that until she was well into her 80s, ironing men's shirts. So now you're doing the sleeve. You notice how I went along the seam, and then I straighten that all out to make sure it's straight, and I'm going to go across. Now, if this was a white shirt again that was cotton, you would have to open up these cuffs. I don't have them opened up, but you would have to open up those cuffs and do them out. But this kind of shirt, you don't, because they don't even undo the cuff. But on a men's white shirt, you would have to do that. So again, you're going to make sure it's nice and flat. That's the key. Make sure it's flat, saves you a lot of work. Get up into the corners. Then the collar. Always do the back of the collar first, because again, what you want to do, you see it gets creases here. That's because when they make the collar, they put too much material there. So you want to shrink that. On a white shirt, that's quite noticeable. So now you've got a nice flat here because you've taken that out so that your collar on the front is nice and flat. Then, when you hang it up, always do up the top button. If you just put it in and you don't do up the top button, then you don't get the front to fold properly. So you're gonna always do up the top button. Make sure it's sitting on the shoulders properly, and there's your shirt. Now, this shirt is hot, so you wanna let air a little bit before you squish it into your cupboard. So put it someplace where you can just let it air.